Dolphins center Mike Pouncey has said he believes he doesn't need to undergo psychological testing. Pouncey was one of the 3 players cited for the bullying of former teammate Jonathan Martin. I'm Antonieta Collins with your ESPN headline. For more on this, we are joined by James Walker, who covers the Dolphins for ESPN. James, one requirement the league is asking of Pouncey is to see a medical professional for psychological testing before he returns to the field. Are you surprised by Pouncey's remarks?
Well, I'm not surprised that this is how Mike Pouncey feels, because there's been a feeling within the Dolphins locker room for quite some time that the Jonathan Martin situation might have been overblown. Now, whether you agree with that or disagree with the Ted Wells report, I guess kind of depends on your perspective. But within the Dolphins locker room, especially when it comes to the people involved, such as Mike Pouncey, there was a feeling that the situation might have been overblown. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't really need psychological testing. But what I am surprised with is his candor today to make such candid comments that he doesn't need it. Now, I'm sure that's how he feels, but I don't know if you have the choice with that.
Will he end up having to do the testing, and if not, what will the consequences be?
Well, the NFL, this is for him to get back on the field. This is something that the NFL said during the owners' meetings that he has to do. So I really don't think Mike Pouncey has a choice in this matter. He can go reluctantly. He can, feel that he doesn't need to do it. But I would be shocked if he doesn't go through with this, especially if the NFL is threatening to withhold him, from being on the field again. So I just think this is just one of those things that, he's going to have to go forward with, whether, he wants to or not. This is just one of the protocols for him to sort of work his way back on the field after being cited in the Ted Wells report. So I really think that's probably how it's going to play out.
James, Pouncey also said he's not here to be a distraction for the team, but he continues to make headlines for the wrong reasons. How long do you think the Dolphins will continue to be patient with Pouncey?
Yeah, and that's an interesting question and a good question because, I really think Mike Pouncey cost himself some money this offseason. He had been playing at a Pro Bowl level for the past 2 seasons. He made his first Pro Bowl this past season, but he had been outperforming his rookie contract for a while now. And for the Dolphins, instead of, giving him a big money extension for being one of the best centers in the league on the field, they decided to only pick up his 5th-year option for 1 more year. So he's under contract for this season and in 2015. And I think for the Dolphins, the thought process behind that was to give him, 2 more seasons to really see if he can mature and become the mature leader that they want him to be. That hasn't been the case yet. But I think the Dolphins really bought themselves some time to decide over the next 2 seasons whether or not they really want to invest in him long-term and spend a lot of money with the long-term extension.
James Walker, who covers the Dolphins for ESPN with the insight. For more on this story, make sure to read about it right here on ESPN.com. I'm Antonieta Collins with your ESPN headline.